Let us know the eternal message of Vedanta as was revealed by Swami Vivekananda during his famous address at the World Parliament of Religions held in Chicago in America in September 1893. Swami Vivekananda addressed the gathering as children of immortal bliss. Amritasya Putraha, a term taken from the Svetvestara Upanishad, Chapter 2, Stanza 5. The audience of more than 5,000 was speechless and spellbound with his message of hope and universality. Swami Vivekananda was a man of profound spiritual experiences. It is the strength of this realization that deeply touched the innermost chord of the audience. His address emphasized the state of oneness as the origin and destination of the entire human race, irrespective of its growing diversity in ethnicity, race, color, religion, or language. His message echoed the wisdom of the ancient Indian scriptures, the Vedas and Upanishads. Swami Vivekananda reiterated the Vedic concept of the immortality of the soul and the oneness of human existence. This idea of oneness of existence which Swamiji proclaimed is derived from the "Listen, you children of immortal bliss." Shamali Ghosh Hindu scriptural literature, the Upanishad, the great ancient seers and sages of India acquired the divine truths in their superconscious state of meditation and delivered the wisdom to posterity through the Shruti and Samhita literature. Today, their thoughts and teachings pertaining to all fields of science, society, politics, and above all philosophy are being investigated and revalidated by physical scientists and philosophers alike. Besides, Vedanta has scientific, philosophical, and experiential foundations which we need to reflect. This is essential to understand the human journey towards its coveted spiritual destination of oneness as the children of eternal bliss. Amritasya Putraha. Vedanta philosophy influenced the thoughts of many famous Western scientists like Einstein, Oppenheimer, Erwin Schrödinger, Wagner, and many more. Vedanta literature is vast and many erudite scholars have put forward interpretation of each and every verse in this vast body of literature. The modern day annals of such quotes to oneness are exemplified in the God-intoxicated lives of Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother Sharda Devi, and Swami Vivekananda, and many other great mystics the world over. Man's uniqueness. As per Swami Vivekananda, human race is accepted as the most evolved species. It is so because of their evolved minds which have the power to think, analyze, and contemplate. No other living species is gifted with the faculty of multi-dimensional thinking. Human beings have a physical existence limited by the body and a causal existence beyond. This has been accepted by philosophers and scientists from both the East and the West since ancient times. Pure science uses the modern technology and analyzes all natural phenomena of the universe, which includes everything that is living or non-living. It seeks answers about their existence, their origin, and their destination at the sensory level. On the other hand, philosophical and metaphysical thoughts probe the same questions inwardly by delving deep within the human mind and spirit. Hence, science and philosophy can consider to be two parallel and complementary methods of study. Interactive, they offer us insights on the total physical and causal identity of human beings. The idea of Vijnana. The Sanskrit word Vijnana means an intense search for knowledge. physical as well as metaphysical. It is a continuing search for truth that never stagnates. This search is always for more, for something new which has not been achieved at the point of time. It is the search for the eternal, the vast reality. The Chandogya Upanishad, chapter 7, stanza 23, part 1 says, Yo va bhuma tat sukham nalpe sukhmasti. There is no happiness in the small, only in the vast when there is eternal happiness. As this search has no boundary, it keeps enlarging its reach to bigger and broader phenomena, starting with earthly objects. It extends to the cosmos or deeper to the molecular level of all objects and beings, including probing into the innermost core of the human mind and soul. This extraordinary thirst has led both scientists and philosophers to continue to make amazing discoveries centering on human life and the human condition. For example, it led the pure scientists to discover the facts about the distant planets, stars, galaxies many millions light years away, their beginnings and their deaths, about the mysteries in all the objects on the planet Earth, whether at the top of the highest mountain or in the unfathomable depths of the ocean. Resolving the old conflict. In the winter of 1895-96, Swami Vivekananda asked Nikola Tesla, the well-known scientist, at Sarah Bernhardt's party whether he could prove mathematically that matter is the same as potential energy. Swamiji believed that if this could be scientifically proven, then Vedantic cosmology will be placed on the surest of foundation. Tesla could not provide the answer at that point of time. However, 10 years later in 1905, Albert Einstein, a young man in his mid-20s, published 5 extraordinary papers which were forerunners of the theory of relativity. Though Swami Vivekananda did not live to see this extraordinary discovery, it removed some conflicts between scientific theory and Vedanta philosophy for the first time. The fascinating development is that scientists are now turning inward, trying to seek answers from the fields of metaphysics and Western and Eastern philosophical thought, primarily Vedanta philosophy. According to the findings of the physical sciences, all objects can be broken down to the common molecular, atomic, and subatomic units of electron, proton, and neutrons, and even further to smaller fundamental particles. From the lowest virus to the highest Homo sapiens, all a guiding core of DNA, the guiding unit of life. Coming to humans, we find that in spite of being made of the same basic units, they appear to be quite diverse. They differ in respect of looks, habits, and mental makeups. Even if they are born as twins, they diversify is a fundamental law of nature and includes everything in its fold. The huge prehistoric animals flooding the earth for many millions of years gradually became extinct, leaving the ground to the more fit species that could adapt better to the environment. All the while there was a general shrinkage in size, shrinkage in the ratio of body to brain mass. As the relative size of the brain increased, the reflective analytical power heightened, and so did the chance of their survival. Today's modern flora and fauna have come about through a journey of many billions of years of evolution. The biological ancestors of modern humans, the Homo sapiens, means wise man in Latin, inhabited this earth as far back as 3 to 4 million years BCE. This has been verified by the discovery of RD, believed to have existed 4.4 million BCE, and Lucy 3.2 million BC. By looking at the simplified timeline structure of that development, we realize that It has taken the human race almost 4 million years to reach a present stage of development. In spite of so much alikeness, why and how each human being differs from one another is still a mystery at the molecular level. Biologists are yet to find clear answers. The facts as to why the two opposite sexes differ so much at the mental, psychological, or at the social levels are also subjects of intensive modern research. It is being clearly revealed that subtle controls exist at the molecular level to cause such variance. Discovering oneness, the quest for something everlasting and perhaps a tangible experience, dwelling on the meaning and purpose of human existence on earth and started more than 5,000 years ago simultaneously in different parts of the Eastern world. The search for the unknown in the physical, metaphysical, and philosophical domains is an innate urge of human mind irrespective of time, place, race, or country. The Vedas and the Upanishads, which date back approximately to 3,500 years before the Christian era, with the help of more current discoveries of artifacts, it is being pushed to 6000 BC, constitute the bedrock of Hindu philosophy. They deal with eternal queries of the human mind as to their origin, identity, and ultimate destiny. Hindu philosophy does not accept the scientific concept that death is the cessation of the individual. It proclaims that the soul, with its innate part of divinity, continues or many continue its onward journey even after the demise of one's physical body. The soul is thought to be wrapped in layers of karma or sanskara, impressions of past actions which continue to accumulate or diminish as we pass from one birth to another. The soul in itself is pure, sublime, and without any attribute. It wears these diverse garbs of sanskara which makes each one of us look different, act in a different manner, and experience different destinies. The cycles of birth compel the individual soul to travel through different paths in each birth. Thus, with each rebirth, it accumulates or works on varied experiences, both good and bad. The eternal urge of the soul is to attain the supreme liberation, and it tries to evolve from the lower to the higher state of consciousness. Just as a student is promoted from the kindergarten to the university level, the course of this journey of the soul also involves the play of the free will, Purshakara, predestination, Prarabdha, and divine grace. These ongoing cycles of reincarnation continue until the soul is completely stripped of all the adhering layers of karma. It finally merges with Brahma or Paramatman to become one with the unlimited powerhouse of bliss and achieves the eternal oneness and immortality. In the light of this theory of essential oneness, it is really a misconception on our part to think that we are inherently different from one another. The veil of Maya caused this illusion and we accept it as true. The Brahman pervades all living beings and inanimate objects in spite of differences in appearance. The Upanishads proclaim that the Brahman is like a full circle. It is eternally whole and complete, having neither a beginning nor an end. Hence, Brahman can neither be increased by addition of anything, nor can it be diminished by taking away any part of it. This is the essence of well-known Shanti mantra found in many Upanishads. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnanta Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avishishate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. That is whole, this is whole, from that whole this whole came. From that whole this whole removed, what remains is whole. Om, peace, peace, peace. Thank you for watching this wonderful video. Thank you, my dear friends. Thank you. Shining examples of the Holy Trio. In studying the lives of Sri Ramakrishna and Holy Mother Sri Sharda Devi, we note the inherent simplicity in all actions in their daily lives, exemplifying the highest divine truths. In their everyday life, they elevated themselves above the mundane smallness of our daily existence. They did not reject the material needs but showed how one may rise above such needs. They accepted all beings, low and high, with the same love. Their minds dwelt constantly in the spiritual plane. They transcended the barrier between the material and the spiritual and could also elevate others to a level of the highest consciousness by a mere touch of or a look. They practiced and demonstrated in their lives the principles of the highest philosophical text of the world while living in the company of worldly beings and behaving just as one of them. Just to be present in their godly company gave people an opportunity to have a foretaste of the eternal bliss. So also the life of Swami Vivekananda is an ideal example of universal integration and oneness. His outlook was one of the acceptance, as in the case of embracing all aspects of life, unification of sacred and secular, and harmonization. Every religion is true. In the closing sentence of his lecture on the first day of the Parliament of Religions in Chicago in 1893, Swami Vivekananda said, "I am proud to represent a religion whose ancient language it is not possible to translate the word exclusion. The journey through birth, life, death and rebirth is a continuum, and it does not seek exclusion but accepts everything, every being and every happening, good or bad, into its fold until it reverts back to its source of bliss." Swami Vivekananda declared that religion is a question of being and becoming and not of believing. His was an all-inclusive vision. Every aspect of his life was an illustration of a spiritual ideal waiting to be recognized, divinity manifesting. Assertion of divinity. We have discussed aspects of immortality and oneness of human existence from the scientific and philosophical perspectives, emphasizing Vedanta and lives of the Holy Trinity of Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Sharda Devi and Swami Vivekananda. It is also seen that in parallel physical science and establishes the basic pillars of unity in modern humans being in the form of correct alignment of 3 billion base pairs in their DNA. This discovery is one of the greatest leap in the biological researches and has led us to the common genetic makeup of the entire human race while emphasizing diversity at the molecular level. Vedanta asserts that all beings, living or inanimate, have in them a spark of divinity. This truth prompted the races from time immemorial to address human beings as Amrit Putra or children of immortal bliss. For each individual, this tiny spark is packaged differently on the outer plane of existence, aligned with their accumulated experiences, past karmas or sanskaras from previous births. These differences in these sanskaras cause the basic differences between two individuals at the physical, mental and spiritual levels. After many reincarnations or rebirths, the divine spark in the soul is freed of all bondage of karma and sanskara. It thus transcends the veil of Maya or illusion and merges into eternal oneness with the Brahman. Just as different streams having different sources ultimately mingle into the sea. According to the Eastern philosophical interpretation of life, the entire human race is alike at the level of object or jada, translate as inert, lifeless, as has been proven by the Genome Project. But we differ even between the two nearest copies, like the homozygotic twins at the higher level of chit or consciousness, revealing the play of karma and sanskara. Thus, reconciliation is achieved between the scientific and the philosophical thoughts on the concept of attaining the state of oneness. Conclusion: the message of oneness and eternal harmony is best explained and sustained through the philosophical concept of the Vedas and Upanishads, and is illustrated for mankind at large and particularly for the ordinary householders through the lives of Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Sharda Devi and Swami Vivekananda. This oneness is actually attainable in one's lifetime by awakening one's eternal identity as a child of immortal bliss or Amritshaputra, and treating others as one's very own. This nature of thought brings promise and hope to humanity and to the entire universe. To complete in Swami's words, as in business everyone can achieve something, in spirituality whoever embarks on it, spiritual life is within our reach if we choose to realize our innate spiritual identity. Om Bhurabhuvah Svah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaskar, my dear friends. These are the gems uttered by Swami Vivekananda. My ideal indeed can be put into a few words, and that is to preach unto mankind the divinity and how to make it manifest in every moment of their life. Each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest this divinity within by controlling nature, external and internal. Do this either by work or worship or psychic control or philosophy, by one or more or all of these, and be free. This is the whole religion. Doctrines or dogmas or rituals or books or temples or forms are but secondary details. Religion gives you nothing new. It only takes off obstacles and lets you see yourself. You have in you all and 1,000 times more than is in all the books. Never lose faith in yourself. You can do anything in this universe. Never weaken. All power is yours. Purity, patience, and perseverance are the three essentials to the success, and above all, love. We want Shraddha, we want faith in ourselves. Strength is life, weakness is death. We are the Ātman, deathless and free, pure by nature. Can we ever commit any sin? Impossible. Such a faith is needed. Such a faith makes man of us, makes gods of us. It is by losing his idea of Shraddha that the country has gone to ruin. Three things are necessary to make every man great, every nation great. That is conviction of the powers of goodness, absence of jealousy and suspicion, and third, helping all who are trying to be and do good. You must remember that humanity travels not from error to truth, but from truth to truth. It may be from lower truth to higher truth, but never from error to truth. The tapas and other hard yogas that were practiced in other yugas do not work now. What is needed in this yuga is giving, helping others. What is meant by dana, charity. The highest of gift is the giving of spiritual knowledge. The next is giving secular knowledge, and the next is savings of life. The last is giving food and drink. He who gives spiritual knowledge saves the soul from many and many a birth. You are the main cause of your own fortunes. You make yourself sufferer. You make good and evil, and it is you who put your hands before your eyes and say it is dark. Take your hands away and see the light. Even the least work done for others awakens the power within, gradually instills into the heart the strength of a lion. The life is short, the vanities of the world are transient, but they alone live who live for others. The rest are more dead than alive. In the world, take always the position of the giver. Help, give service, give any little thing you can, but keep out border. Neither seek nor avoid. Take what comes. This is freedom, to be affected by nothing. Do not merely endure, be unattached. It is a weakness to think someone is dependent on you and that you can do good to him. This belief is the mother of all our attachment, and through this attachment comes all our pain. Therefore, developing the attitude of non-attachment is the great lesson to learn in life, and when we have learnt it fully, we shall never be unhappy. By non-attachment, you overcome and deny the power of anything to act on you. If a man with an ideal makes 1,000 mistakes, I am sure that the man without ideal makes 50,000. Therefore, it is better to have an ideal. Education is not the amount of information that is put in your brain and runs right there undigested all your life. We must have life building, man making, character making, assimilation of ideas. If you have assimilated 5 ideas and made them your life and character, you have more education than any man who has got by heart a whole library. Truth, purity, and unselfishness, wherever these are present, there is no power below or above the sun to crush the possessor thereof. Equipped with these, one individual is able to face the whole universe in opposition. Every idea that strengthens you must be taken up, and every thought that weakens you must be rejected. Be obedient and eternally faithful to the cause of truth, humanity and your country, and you will move the world. Be not afraid of anything. You will do marvelous work. The moment you fear you are nobody, it is fear that is greatest causes of misery in the world. It is fear that is the cause of all our woes, and it is fearlessness that brings heavens even in a moment. The more opposition there is, the better. Does the river acquire velocity unless there is a resistance? The newer and better a thing is, the more opposition it will meet with all the outset. It is the opposition which foretells success. What we want is muscle of iron and nerves of steel. We have wept long enough. No more weeping, but stand on your feet and be man. It is a man-making religion that we want. It is a man-making theories that we want. It is man-making education all round that we want. He is an artist who does not believe in himself. The old religions said that he was an atheist who did not believe in good. The new religion says that he is the atheist who does not believe in himself. That is the best thing. The remedy for weakness is not brooding over it, but thinking of strength. Teach man of the strength that is already within them. All love is expansion, all selfishness is contraction. Love is therefore the only law of life. He who loves lives, he who is selfish is dying. Help if you can. If you cannot, fold your hands and stand by and see things go on. Do not injure if you cannot render help. Work unto death. I am with you, and when I am gone, my spirit will work with you. This life comes and goes. Wealth, fame, enjoyments are only of a few days. It is better, far better to die on the field of duty, preaching the truth, than to die like a worldly man. Advance. Know that talking ill of others in private is a sin. You must wholly avoid it. Many things may occur to the mind, but it gradually makes a mountain of molehill if you try to express them. Everything is ended if you forgive and forget. India's gift to the world is the spiritual light, slow and silent as the gentle dew that falls in the morning, unseen and unheard, yet producing a most tremendous result. A handful of men can throw the world off its hinges, provided they are united in thought, word and deed. Never forget this conviction. My boy, when death is inevitable, is it not better to die like heroes than as stocks and stones? And what is the use of living a day or two more in this transitory world? It is better to wear out than to rust out, especially for the sake of doing the least good to others. Be the servant while leading, be unselfish, have infinite patience, and success is yours. Beware of everything that is untrue, stick to the truth and we shall succeed, maybe slowly but surely. Then only will India away, when hundreds of large-hearted men and women, giving up all desires of enjoying the luxuries of life, will long and expert themselves to their utmost for the well-being of the millions of their countrymen who are gradually sinking lower and lower in the vortex of destitution and ignorance. The road to good is the roughest and steepest in the universe. It is a wonder that so many succeeded, no wonder that so many fall. Character has to be established through 1,000 stumbles. The history of the world is that of 6 men of faith, 6 men of deep, pure character. We need to have 3 things: the heart to feel, the brain to conceive, the hand to work. Make yourself a dynamo. If you are pure, if you are strong, you, one man, are equal to the whole world. It is the coward and the fool who says, "This is fate," so says the Sanskrit proverb, but it is the strong man who stands up and says, "I will make my fate." It is people who are getting old who talk of fate. Can anything be done unless everybody exerts himself to his utmost? It is the man of action, the lion heart, that the goddess of wealth resorts to. No need of looking behind, forward. We want infinite energy, infinite zeal, infinite courage and infinite patience. Then only will great things be achieved. Stand up and fight, not one step back. That is the idea. Fight it out, whatever comes. Let the stars move from the sphere. Let the whole world stand against us. Death means only a change of garments. What of it? Thus fight. You gain nothing by becoming cowards. Taking a step backwards, you do not avoid any misfortune. Never say no, never say I cannot, for you are infinite. Even the time and space are nothing compared with your nature. You can do anything and everything. You are almighty. This is the one question I put to every man. Are you strong? Do you feel is strength? Strength is the medicine for the world diseases. Whatever you think that you will be. If you think yourself weak, weak you will be. If you think yourself strong, strong you will be. Most of our difficulties in our daily life come from being unable to hold our minds. Every reaction in the form of hatred or evil is so much lost to the mind. And every evil thought or deed of hatred or any thought of reaction, if it is controlled, will be laid in our favor. Each time we control hatred or a feeling of anger, it is so much good energy stored up in our favor. That piece of energy will be converted into the higher powers. If what we are now has been the result of our own past actions, it is certainly follows that whatever we wish to be in the future can be produced by our present actions. So we have to know how to act. By knowing how to work, we can obtain the greatest results. Even the lowest forms of work are not to be despised. Work as if on each of you depends the whole work. The more we grow in love and virtues and holiness, the more we see love and virtues and holiness outside. All condemnation of others really condemns ourselves. Adjust the microcosm, which is your power to do, and the macrocosm will adjust yourself for you. Great enterprise, boundless grace, tremendous energy, and above all, perfect obedience. These are the only traits that lead to individual and national regeneration. Feel that you are great and you will become great. We all have the same glorious soul. Let us believe in it. Have patience and be faithful to each other. Do not fight among yourselves. Be perfectly pure in many dealings. So long as you have faith and honesty and devotion, everything will prosper us. Great indeed are the manifestation of muscular power, and marvelous the manifestations of intellect expressing themselves through machines by appliances of science, and yet none of these is more potent than the influence which spirit exerts upon the world. The power of the mind are like a rays of the light dissipated. When they are concentrated, they illumine. This is our only means of knowledge. How has the world, all the knowledge in the world, been gained but by the concentration of the powers of mind? The world is ready to give up its secrets if we only know how to knock, how to give it the necessary blow. The strength and force of the blow come through concentration. There is no limit to the power of a human mind. The more concentrated it is, the more power is brought to bear on one point, that is the secret. Let us be true. 9/10 of our life's energy is spent in trying to make people think us that which we are not. That energy would be more rightly spent in becoming that which we would like to be. Good. No great work can be achieved by humbug. It is through the tremendous energy that all undertakings are accomplished. Therefore, manifest your manhood. Pray day and night, O thou mother of the universe, vouchsafe manliness unto me. O thou, the mother of strength, take away my weakness, take away my unmanliness, and make me a man. Multitude counts for nothing. A few heart whole, sincere, and energetic man can do more in a year than mob in a century. The older I grow, the more everything seems to me to lie in the manliness. This is my gospel. My hope and faith rest in men like you. Understand my words in their true spirit and apply yourself to work in their light. Have given you advice enough. Now put out least something in practice. Let the world see that you listening to me has been a success. Have faith in yourself. Great convictions are the mothers of great deeds. The history of the world is the history of few men who had faith in themselves. That faith calls out the divinity within. You can do anything. You fail only when you do not strive sufficiently to manifest infinite power. As soon as a man loses faith, death comes. What we want is this Shraddha. What makes the difference between man and man is the difference in this Shraddha and nothing else. What makes one man great and another weak and low is this Shraddha. This Shraddha must enter into you. Have faith that you are all my brave lads, born to do great things. Let not the bark of puppies frighten you, no, not even the thunderbolts of heaven. Have faith in yourself. You people were once the Vedic rishis, only you have come in different forms, that's all. I see it clear as daylight that you all have infinite power in you. Rouse that up, arise, arise. This faith in themselves was in the hearts of our ancestors. This faith in themselves was the motive power that pushed them forward and forward in the march of civilization. And if there has been degeneration, if there has been defect, mark my words, you will find that degradation to have started on the day our people lost the faith in themselves. Have faith in yourself. All power is in you. Be conscious and bring it out. Say, I can do everything. Even the poison of a snake is powerless if you can firmly deny it. Beware, no saying nay, no negative thoughts. Faith, faith, faith in ourselves, faith in God. This is the secret of greatness. To advance, we must have faith in ourselves first and then in God. He who has no faith in himself can never have faith in God. Losing faith in one's self means losing faith in God. Each one of you has a glorious future if you dare, believe me. Have a tremendous faith in yourself, like a faith I had when I was young. Have that faith, each one of you, in yourself. That eternal power is lodged in every soul, and you will revive the whole India. Let a man go down as low as possible. There must come a time when, out of sheer desperation, he will take up upward cow and will learn to have faith in himself. But it is better for us that we should know it from the very first. Why should we have all these bitter experiences in order to gain faith in ourselves? If you have faith in all the 330 millions of your mythological gods and still have no faith in yourself, there is no salvation for you. Have faith in yourselves and stand upon that says in the strong. That is what we need. Faith in ourselves will do everything. I have experienced it in my own life. The ideal of faith in ourselves is of the greatest help to us. If faith in ourselves had been more extensively taught and practiced, I am sure a very large portion of the evils and miseries that we have would have vanished. Throughout the history of mankind, if any motive power has been more potent than another in the lives of all great men and women, it is that faith in themselves. Born with the consciousness that they were to be great, they became great. Whatever of material power you see manifested by the Western race is the outcome of this Shraddha, because they believe in their muscles, and if you believe in your spirit, how much more will it work? Believe in that the infinite power which with consensus of opinion your book and sages preach, that Ātman which nothing can destroy. In it is infinite power only waiting to be called out. Be strong and have this Shraddha, and everything else is bound to follow. Have faith as Nachiketa. I wish that faith would come to each of you, and every one of you would stand up a giant, a world mover with the gigantic intellect and infinite God in every respect. That is what I want to you to become. Make man first, man we want, and how can man be made unless Shraddha is there? What I mean to say is that I want of Shraddha has brought in all the evils among us and is bringing in more and more. My method of treatment is to make out by the roots the very causes of the disease and not to keep them merely suppressed. The idea of true Shraddha must be brought back once more to us. The faith in ourselves must be reawakened, and then only all the problems which face our country will gradually be solved by ourselves. Infinite faith and strength are the only conditions of success. Every boy should be trained to practice absolute brahmacharya, and then only faith Shraddha will come. The great thing is to have faith in oneself even before faith in God, but the difficulty seems to be that we are losing faith in ourselves day by day. Be possessed of Shraddha, faith, of virya, craze, attend to the knowledge of the Ātman and sacrifice your life for the good of others. This is my wish and blessing. Superstition is the greatest enemy of man. I would rather see every one of you rank atheist than superstitious fools, for the atheist is alive and you can make something out of him. But if superstition enters, the brain is gone, the brain is softening, degradation has seized upon the life. You had better die as an unbeliever than be played upon by the cheats and jugglers. The power of reasoning was given you for use, so then that you have used it properly. I am sure God will pardon a man who will use his reason and cannot believe, rather than a man who believes blindly instead of using the faculties he has given him. One must have a strong brain, a clear mind free of nonsensical ideas. He must pierce through the mass of superstitions and trust, and crusting his mind to the pure truth that is in his inmost self, then he will know that all perfection, all powers are already within himself, that these have not been given him by others. Believe not because an old manuscript has been produced, because it has been handed down to you from your forefathers, because your friends want you to, but think for yourself, search truth for yourself, realize it yourself. Soft-brained man, weak-minded, chicken-hearted cannot find the truth. Brave, bold man, these are what we want. What we want is vigor in the blood, strength in the nerves, iron muscles and nerves of steel, not softening, namby-pamby ideas. Avoid all mystery. There is no mystery in religion. In religion is an all other matters. Discard everything that weakens you, have nothing to do with it. Mystery mongering weakens the human brain. Mystery mongering and superstition are always signs of weakness. These are always signs of degradation and of death. Therefore, beware of them. Be strong and stand on your own feet. Anything that makes you weak physically, intellectually, and spiritually, reject as poison. There is no life in it. It cannot be true. These mysticism in spite of some grains of truth in them are generally weakening. Anything that is secret and mysterious in the system of yoga should be at once rejected. The best guide in life is strength. I must frankly state that in my lifelong experience, I have always found occultism injurious and weakening to humanity. What we want is strength. We Indians, more than any other race, want strong and vigorous thought. We have enough of all superfine in all concerns. For centuries we have been stuffed with the mysterious. The result is that our intellectual and spiritual digestion is almost hopelessly impaired, and the race has been dragged down to the depths of hopeless imbecility. Every system, therefore, which weakens the mind makes one mope, make one desire all sorts of wild impossibilities, mysteries, and superstitions I do not like because its effect is dangerous. Such system never bring any good. Such things create morbidity in the mind, make it weak, so weak that in the course of time it will be almost impossible to receive or live up to its strength. Therefore, it is the one thing needful. There must be freshness and vigor of thought behind to make a virile race more than enough to strengthen the whole world exists in the Upanishads, but it requires be applied. Religion is the manifestation of the natural strength that is in man. It is always a manifestation of strength. I love my nation. I cannot see you degraded, weakened any more than you are now. Therefore I am bound by your sake and for truths to cry, hold, and to raise my voice against this degradation of my race. Give up those weakening mysticism and be strong. The truth of Upanishads are before you. Take them up, live up to them, and then the salvation of India will be at hand. Go back to your Upanishads, the shining, the strengthening, the bright philosophy, and part from all these mysterious things, all these weakening things. Swami Vivekananda, these ideas and teachings must be followed by us. We must contemplate, think, and listen and watch this type of videos every now and then, so that our conviction becomes firm. So thank you, my dear friend, for watching this video. Please like, comment, and share the video, and subscribe the channel. Thanks a lot. Namaskar, my dear friends. बाप रे, थैंक यू. कोई बात नहीं. अच्छा.